what many people in this audience would like to know, and what I want my young son to hear from you also is, what keeps you going, what keeps you smiling at the end of all the troubles that you face?
I will say that anyone who has read the Gita will draw 3 lessons. Lesson number 1, that Krishna says you have only freedom of action. You have no right to the fruit of the action. You can work for a goal, you can work for an objective, you can work for a fruit, but you have no right to claim that you must get it because you put in the effort. You have freedom to make the effort, and all good karmas will be rewarded in some way or the other. It may not be necessarily in this. You may strive to win an election and lose it, and then later on get a job as the UN Secretary General, so you will be better off. But if you had won the election, you would not have got that job. I mean, or you may get a very bad job and a very good wife, or a very good job and a very bad wife. You know, and of course, I'm gender neutral, so I can also say good husband. So therefore, Gita says very clearly, don't hold yourself responsible for the result. I am responsible. And this removes tension completely, because most people get tension whether I am doing enough, whether I am competent, whether I am good, that why I am not getting the result, why I am a failure. People, hate the word failure. So point number 1. Point number 2 is that there are karmas that you inherit from your previous life, which you have to discharge. So don't say, see, why am I suffering so much while that other fellow is enjoying so much, and my neighbor is doing so well, etc. Because you come to this world with a baggage of karmas, and if they are good karmas, you will get, without doing anything, enjoyment. If they are bad karmas, you are going to suffer. So this is another thing, that whenever something wrong goes or some unfair thing happens to me, I don't bother, because I say this is all my karma which I have to expend. And the earlier in your life you expend, more will be your old age will be happy. And so therefore I've been through hell in India, I can tell you. I left Harvard, came, Delhi University denied me a job, put me on the street, then IIT denied me. Not only IIT made me a professor and then dismissed me also. Later on, after 21 years, the courts reinstated me. But in between, after 3 years after my dismissal, the Janata Party came to power, and Morarji Desai appointed me on the very board of governors which dismissed me in the first place. You see? And Morarji asked me, now I'm appointing you to the board, what do you want more, do you want me to do? I said, all the people who dismissed me are still members, so dismiss them first. So he dismissed them. So, and then 21 years later in the courts I won the case and I got all my back salary, which I would never have been able to save had I been working as a professor. So, these are some of the things. And the third thing you see is that if you are working for somebody else, or society, or the nation, not for yourself, as Lord Krishna says, don't do it with a motive. Do it for service. Then you will find that the Divine Himself intervenes and creates conditions for your success when the time for it comes. So these three things make me absolutely free from anxiety. And I give anxiety to other people, but I have no anxiety in myself. And fear of your security, well, I mean, that also is the responsibility of God to protect. And somehow or the other I have found whenever there was a danger planned for me, something happens and I go by another direction, or my flight is cancelled or something like that. So there is divine. If you believe in the divine, you can never be afraid.